The camera lingers on the somber stillness of a dining table in Atlanta, an extreme contrast to the room's luxury. It feels more like a crime scene waiting to happen than a reality TV set because of the intense concentration in the air. With a stiff stance and eyes that dart between her sisters with a mixture of defiance and treachery, Tamar Braxton sits in the middle. The person across from her, Tamar Braxton, is typically the calm matriarch, appears to be about to have a breakdown or go into a blackout. The flickering light of the candle captures the sparkle of tears and the jagged, sharp edges of words that are irrevocable. This dinner isn't only for the family. It is the carrying out of a legacy. Out of nowhere, a boom that reverberates like a gunshot in a crowded room breaks the silence. Keep me calm, and don't F. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk with me. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk with Tony is not appropriate. The Grammy winner lashes out. A terrible authority trembled in her voice. Social media was immediately engulfed in a virtual firestorm. After the preview was leaked, people complained that the brawl had gotten much worse than what the cameras could capture in just a few minutes. According to insiders, the cease and desist drama was only a front for a more serious health concern involving unsubstantiated claims that have caused shockwaves. Comment sections were exploding during the production, as fans started to make connections between the season 13 premiere was reportedly marred by turmoil due to Mendeecees Harris's unexpected appearance and rumors of a hotel scandal. When a sister allegedly divulged information that was too personal, the argument reportedly descended into violence. With merely a muffled sob and the sound of a chair scraping the floor, the screen goes black, allowing viewers to speculate as to whether the Braxton air war is over or if love and hip-hop will face a protracted, gloomy winter. There was a sense of a planned, cold-blooded tactical retreat rather than celebration surrounding the season 13 debut. In order to comprehend the ruins of the Braxton family dynamic, one must examine the psychological battle being fought behind the scenes of a production that has come to resemble a deposition. Rather than a public outburst or a physical attack, the main weapon of choice in this family fight was a legal document, a quit and desist. Tamar Braxton saw this as more than a piece of paper. Her career was surrounded by a digital fence and a gag order from the individuals she considers her kin. Insiders claim that the existence of these legal risks has changed the situation there. Reality into a sequence of the idea of the disinvitation sets up the tension, which is followed by unscripted eruptions and planned silences. Tamar says that after purchasing her ticket for a family vacation to Tulum, she was essentially removed from the trip. There was more to this than a straightforward miscommunication regarding a hotel or travel booking. Viewers saw it as a conscious effort to keep her apart from the gang. However, the sisters' narrative claimed that Tamar was the one who was refusing to film. This leads to an intriguing dark paradox, accusing a woman of wanting to leave while also telling her that she is not welcome. Tamar's face flickers with perplexity and anger as she tries to make her way through this maze of, he said, and the camera records this moment. Political, she said. This scene has more of the feel of an interrogation than a television program. I informed you that you all didn't want me to attend. That was said by whom? We wanted you to come, but who said that? I'll hold off. Since what you didn't want to film with them, they informed us. When Tamar is asked who told her she wasn't wanted, she is told that she was the one who declined to have the film. This conversation prepares us for a more thorough examination of the y'all Tamar keeps bringing up. You're rarely just a bunch of folks in the world of high-stakes entertainment. Conglomerate, that is. The sisters, the managers, and the lawyers work together to safeguard the brand. Tamar's frustration is evident as she attempts to pinpoint the precise designer of her career's downfall. She gestures to the dramatic, stuttering mispronunciation of a halt and desist order that she feels was issued to ruin her company, cease and desist. This was not, in her opinion, a legal dispute. Her career as a performer and promoter was specifically targeted. It is impossible to exaggerate the psychological impact of a halt and desist in this situation. As far as family businesses go, it is the ultimate betrayal. It is an official statement stating that the sister is no longer trusted by the family and that there is a place at the table for longer. According to viewers, the loudest aspect of the room was the other sister's silence on this document. When Tamar talks about the anguish of her own sisters not answering her over a court action intended to silence her, her voice breaks. In search of a hint of remorse or sympathy, the camera moves across the Braxton sisters' features. But all it sees is a chilly professional distance. The mystery grows when the focus moves to the identity of the lawyer in question. Tamar says the document was sent by a family lawyer, but other people at the table said they hadn't employed that particular lawyer in years. This disparity implies a decades-old betrayal of confidence. In order to facilitate this closure, it is alleged that someone gave a legal team Tamar's private address. The notion that a sister would give up a sister's house is a violation of privacy. The sloppy basis of the hotel's scandal rumors is an address to a lawyer. It suggests that no place is safe, not even one's own house. Then the talk veers sharply and jaggedly toward Toni Braxton, the most powerful person in the room. The other sisters frequently find themselves engaged in heir-related conflict under the shadow of a legend. The ultimate heresy in the Braxton household is Tamar's claim that Toni never really stood by her. The night's investigation focus suddenly shifts into a full-scale attack on the family's reputation. As Tamar wanted this to go on national television thanks to commentary. She wanted everyone to realize how unsupported she felt she had been for years. Protection. So you're going to say, Toni Braxton? Toni Braxton. Toni Braxton. The harsh denial that Toni Braxton ever provided Tamar with the necessary support stems from the fact that she never asked him whether he ever had her back. The instant response from the table is protective rage. The reference to Toni Braxton serves as a trigger. From a family argument to a protective formation, the atmosphere changes. Not only are the sisters protecting themselves, but they are also protecting the crown. The hotel clip rumors and the HIV chatter, according to insiders, were the outward signs of this internal decay. What else are the family options if they are prepared to sue one another to keep quiet? Are they prepared to leak to the media? The Grammy winner's eventual loss of composure raises the psychological strain to a 10. When the establishment eventually confronts Tamar, the whistleblower, she claims that the individuals seated across from her have systematically destroyed her business, voice, and reputation. Meanwhile, the sisters pretend to be the elite gaslighting. They saw nothing, knew nothing, and took no action. There is, however, a cease and desist. The address was disclosed, and the legal threats are genuine. When the first part of this documentary-style breakdown comes to an end, we are left with the impression of a family in complete disarray. There's more to the hotel scandal than just a place. It has to do with the closeness of treachery. It's more than simply a physical attack. It was preceded by a verbal and legal onslaught. Mendeecees' purported role as an attacker or protector in this case gives a Braxton family tragedy a touch of love and hip-hop turbulence. There was more than a fight at the end of the premiere. It concluded with the insight that not all bridges are simply destroyed by fire. They are broken down and sold as parts. The online response was harsh and quick. Onlookers started to hypothesize that the aid and assist halt and assist was a preventative measure against Tamar discussing a health issue or a scandal that would permanently damage the family's reputation. Comments claim that the hotel video captures the time the court documents were delivered, or something even more harmful. The video is being examined frame by frame for hints. For the precise time the weight of 1,000 court documents finally caused the sisterly tie to break. Who will be the last Braxton standing when the attorneys are done? Is the cliffhanger, not whether they will reconcile. You only need to examine the remains of a single night in Atlanta, which has become the main topic of every major gossip blog, to comprehend the increasing violence of the season 13 premiere. Allegedly, the V12 Lounge's shadows conceal the fact that Mendeecees Harris and Tamar Braxton became entangled. The two were reported to have been seen dancing with a confidence that betrayed their lack of concern for onlookers, and they were said to be vibrating heavily. The investigation doesn't stop at the club, though. The night allegedly took a sinister, even lethal turn when the gathering transferred to a private home. There are holes in the story about this incident. A few hours after leaving the lounge with Mendeecees and his group, Tamar was discovered in a pool of blood, according to some blogs that cited the Playhouse ADL. Devastating physical damage resulted. A broken nose, missing teeth, and complete memory loss about the occurrence. The season premiere's investigation portion is said to begin at this point. Viewers implied that the HIV accusation was a planned act of psychological warfare intended to conceal Tamar's obvious wounds, rather than merely a casual comment made during a brawl. The reasoning was that the physical markings were not the product of a violent confrontation, but rather a sign of a health crisis if she was ill. Tamar calls her sister's disclosure of her private address a total violation of her safety. This private violation serves as the impetus for the paranoia that permeates the season 13 premiere. According to Tamar's, one of her own sisters gave away her location in order to stop her business advertisements, adding a predatory element to the family conflict. Fans think the hotel scandal and the pool of blood tragedy are connected because a single act of treachery. Did her companions know where she was? If the sisters did, what's more, did they know what was going to happen? The variable that fluctuates the most in this equation is still Mendeecees Harris. He may have been a protector throughout the incident, according to some stories, however others bring up the viral headlines about the Mendeecees attack. Mendeecees allegedly jumped to Tamar's defense when the HIV rumors were mentioned on television, resulting in the physical altercation that ended the premiere. The transcript, however, shows a distinct verbal battle over a cease and desist that Tamar describes as a measure that destroys businesses. The response on the internet has been a mixture of skepticism and terror. Tamar is portrayed in the pool of blood headlines as the victim of an unexplained accident. The Braxton sister leak rumors, on the other hand, indicate that one of the sisters may have video footage of the hotel incident that provides a very different account. The HIV topic, according to viewers, was a smokescreen intended to divert attention from the fact that a family-approved legal assault actually occurred. The attack isn't a one-time event, as the camera follows the sisters' responses to Tamar's vulnerability. The family's DNA is permanently altered. The premiere is said to end with a warning rather than a response. The last straw was the mention of Tamar Braxton, which set off the ferocious desire to get you some heavyweight, according to insiders. The Braxton establishment's willingness to employ both legal and physical force to conceal its secrets was directly referenced in this heavyweight remark. The outcome was the same whether the physical contact was physical or verbal. The complete cancellation of a premiere that was meant to be about sisterhood but instead ended up becoming a murder scene. Tamar Braxton affirms that she and Mendeecees are dating. In order to construct the third chapter of this developing thriller, once he discloses that he and Yandy Smith have been split up, one must consider the chilly, practical fact of a marriage that never truly took place. The assault on Tamar Braxton is being reframed by a startling admission from Mendeecees Harris as the season 1-3B opener unfolds. By himself, Mendeecees' public admission that his nearly two-decade union with Yandy Smith was a skillfully crafted television illusion came more as a legal tactic than a romantic revelation. This discovery has caused significant skepticism within the hip-hop and love communities. If the marriage was a hoax, what additional stories are being made up to safeguard the cast's possessions? Insiders claim that there is more going on here than a straightforward breakup, but an ingrained anxiety about what will happen after the cameras stop recording. In order to avoid issues with his legal battles and a FISA maneuver that he claims was Yandy's idea, Mendeecees disclosed that he had not signed legal marriage papers. This contractual view of romantic relationships offers a murky background to the scandal involving Tamar Braxton. The hotel video that has allegedly been circulated on social media depicts the precise moment this fictitious marriage clashed with an actual controversy. When asked if she was aware that a family lawyer had been hired to help with the legal actions against her, Tamar is questioned. During the confrontation, this line of inquiry suggests a concerted attempt to silence Tamar before she could speak on. She has been beset by rumors of a health issue. The HIV topic was allegedly used as a weapon to undermine her trustworthiness, according to viewers, a traditional tactic from the image management playbook. If Tamar is perceived as being ill or dishonest, her accusations that the Braxton sisters are attempting to ruin her company will be less credible. Comments claim that the viral HIV claim was a whisper campaign that came from within the inner group rather than a leak from an outsider. Placement of the attack timeframe is very startling. In addition to his previous public declarations, Mendeecees acknowledged that he and Yandy had been apart for more than a year. That means he was free to do anything he wanted at the V12 lounge that night. This essentially breaks down the home wrecker, a story about Tamar's struggles with her Instagram apologies payments campaign. Why the night ended in a pool of blood is still an open investigation topic, though. The physical altercation inside the hotel, according to some experts, was a confrontation with a third party who was trying to record the incident for leverage, rather than a fight between lovers. An insider said that Mendeecees' assault was really an attempt to take control of a camera or phone that might have recorded the events of the night. Rumor has it that Mendeecees attempted to prevent the release of the footage from the Braxton sister leak. The suspense is at an all-time high as Season 13B's premiere date of February 17th draws near. The famous phrase, "when it rains, it pours," becomes a dangerous connotation when you take into account the deluge of leaked video, medical rumors, and legal paperwork. Although the public is more interested in the higher weight that Toni Braxton hinted at, Tamar Braxton is still demanding reimbursement for her apology from those who dubbed her a liar. The heavy weight could be an allusion to the legal authority that was employed to conceal the hotel incident. In this reality, the hunters have been turned into the hunted in a game where survival is the sole goal. In this film's fourth chapter, the consequences of a family legacy that is being destroyed in real time are examined. The premiere of Season 1, 13B is more than just a TV show anymore. It has turned into a virtual courtroom where the reputation of Braxton is being tried. The topic of discussion has moved from who to why as the hotel scandal video keeps making the rounds on the dark web. What made the sacrifice of a sisterly bond for a legal document necessary? What caused the incident to turn into a physical altercation that allegedly left a well-known artist covered in blood? Investigative commentary claims that the answers are in the quiet that followed the yelling. A family that has reached its breaking point is suggested by the psychological profile of this conflict. It was more than just a place when Tamar Braxton accused her sisters of a total breach by disclosing her private address. She had been discussing the loss within her haven, the only place in the world of well-known celebrities where you are immune to the intense pressures of the industry is at home. The sisters did not merely serve documents when they allegedly gave the address to a legal team. They opened the bedroom to the enemy. Insiders say that this breach was the direct cause of the hotel's pandemonium. In the event that Tamar no longer trusted her own blood, she was forced to seek protection from others. Come on, Mendeecees Harris. The most scrutinized frame in the Season 13B trailer is the man's attack. Viewers have seen the start of the altercation frame by frame, on the hunt for the slap that apparently put a stop to the production of the premiere. Fans are piecing together the story of a man who was driven to the brink by his health condition. It was an accusation that ought never to have been made public. A lot of commentators consider the HIV discussion to be a nuclear option, a factual or untrue piece of information so devastating that it was intended to put a permanent stop to the discourse. The script was thrown out the window and real-world violence replaced it when the card was shown on national television, according to social media theories. When the request is made to get you some heavyweight, the atmosphere trembles. An icy command that spells the end the conversation. The skeleton key to the entire incident is this heavyweight remark. It symbolizes the use of Toni Braxton's legacy, the Braxton machine, the solicitors, and the publicists as a blunt force tool. The public viewed the Braxtons as a close-knit family for many years. However, it is said that the premiere reveals them to be a business that is prepared to close one of its own. The initial shot was the assist and assist, cease and assist. The second was the leak from the hotel. The Braxton sisters' spill, according to viewers, was not a mistake, but rather a warning to Tamar to follow orders or risk complete public humiliation over her health and her private life. Internal fear has gripped the Love and Hip Hop production as a result of the attack's aftermath. Some cast members are allegedly refusing to remain in the same room as others due to changes made to security procedures. The hotel scandal probe has uncovered a network of shifting allegiances, with Mendeecees revealing his false marriage and single status to Yeedy. The rules of a reality TV husband no longer apply to him. His purported attack on Tamar's behalf puts the Braxton sisters in even greater danger because he is a man with nothing to lose.